Thank you so much for doing this. So, like I said, I just want to hear from you, like how you feel things were, how things went for you through the program, how you were feeling before, how you're feeling now, what goals you had initially, like, and where you're at now.
Um, so when I found you, I was trying to get pregnant, but it wasn't happening. I was at my heaviest that I've ever been. I was almost 160 pounds.
Mhm.
And we used to live in a two-bedroom house, and it was just rough getting upstairs. Or like in the mornings when I woke up, I will like get a shower, get dressed, and then I will have to sit down to brush my teeth and just rest.
And
Um,
you're how old, Daniela?
and I was when I started the treatment, I was 33, no 32, about to turn 33, and I have less energy than my grandma who is 96. So it was rough. And I was really not in my best point. Like I was not sleeping a lot. I was not having bowel movements very often. So I was cranky all the time. I didn't have energy. It was really hard to focus, and I'm a teacher, so that was a struggle.
Right.
Um, and I was not getting pregnant, but like I had friends suggesting podcasts and things like that, and I found you in another podcast about women with thyroid issues trying to get pregnant. And then I went to your webinar, and I was like, oh wait, he doesn't know me, but he's describing me. And so that's when I started like the treatment, and it was just like an immediate change. I think the first 2 weeks were awful because I was leaving caffeine, so that was brutal. And then I was hungry. It's not the way I used to eat because I didn't used to eat healthy at all. And so it was really tough. The first 2 weeks I was hungry in a bad mood. Um, and then after like the third week, I started losing the weight. Like you can literally tell it just in my face, um, how much weight I was losing and how much energy I was having, and I was able to move, and I was able to do things that I didn't do before. And it was just great.
I remember
Um,
last summer before you went on vacation. Remember you showing me a picture of before and after. We were like, "Oh my God, look at me before! Look at me now!" You were so excited.
yes, we
Yeah.
have a device where we show pictures at home, and so they show up like all these pictures, and every time it's by the dining table, and every morning when we watch him, like, oh my God, look how fat I was, and then oh my God, look how skinny I was. And even now that I'm like, so now I'm like super pregnant. I started my last trimester this week, and
Wait. You have to back up. So, how much weight did
oh,
you lose
okay.
before you got pregnant?
Before I got pregnant, I was almost 160, and when I got pregnant, I was 128.
So you
So
lost
it was
about like 32 pounds.
32 pounds. Like most of my clothes didn't fit, and we were going to vacation in Europe, and I have to like go and buy clothes for the trip. I started the treatment with you at the end of March, and we got well. I didn't have my period before that.
Sure. Right.
It was about a year and a half of not having a period. I have a few periods, but they were induced with medication, so it really doesn't count. And um, when we went to the trip in summer, it was July, in the end of June, and I got my period just like that, just happened naturally,
Mhm.
which has never happened before that, not even in my life. Um, I've never had regular periods or things like that. I was always like, oh, 1 month I get it, the next 6 months I don't, and things like that. So then I got 2 periods that were super regular, and we decided to go back to try having a baby. And right away, the first try, literally the first week
Yay!
we got pregnant. Um,
Yay!
so we are currently in the last trimester. We're having a baby girl that is gonna be called Olivia,
So
and
sweet.
even now that I'm 7 months pregnant, I'm still not as heavy as I was. I'm 150. I'm getting closer, but I'm pregnant again. And even when you look at my pictures of before and now, like my face doesn't look as big as it was.
How's your energy compared to before and now?
And even like now that I'm pregnant and very pregnant, I still have more energy than I used to have before. Like, of course, going up and down the stairs is hard because of the baby weight, but I can do way more and like get a hold of my day easier. Like today, for example, was a long day. I went to school at 6 a.m. and I'm still finding energy to do other things when I get home. Like I don't need to just pass out on the couch for the rest of the night.
That's so great. Before you got pregnant, did your bowel movements improve?
Yes. So like before the treatment, I used to have like maybe 1 or 2 bowel movements a week if I was super lucky. And once I started the treatment, I would say like by month, the first month, I was into every day I have a bowel movement. And so that was a big difference for me.
And what about your sleep? Because I know you told me you were having trouble sleeping prior. Did your sleep
So
patterns change?
before it was hard to fall asleep, and between like all this weight and just finding hard to exist, and then also like the anxiety that I was having, like I will just not stop thinking, or like it was like my brain was not connected with my whole body. And once I started the treatment, like started the vitamins and all that, it was just easier to fall asleep, and I could wake up and be like, man, I did have a restful night. Like I actually can say I rest.
So good. You're like a poster child. Like you got everything. I remember the first thing you said to me after you got pregnant. You were like, I know I got my second goal, but now like, what about all that weight I lost? And I was like, no, you need to eat now.
Yes.
Enjoy
And
the
it was also very because I remember when I did my first appointment with you and you sent me all the blood work, I was like, okay, so I'm not a firm believer of like non-traditional medicine, and I was not into like homeopathic things and all these Californian things. And so when I did the blood work with you, my husband was questioning it because he's on the same way, and we were both like, is this wacky person really gonna do something for us? Like, is this really gonna work? Are we putting our money where it is? And then like a few weeks later, we start seeing the weight loss. Just the weight loss made the whole difference, because I was able to do more. And that's when we were like, holy guacamole, that is well invested money.
To be fair, I never did any homeopathy with you. We just used
No, but like that's the way we saw it, because it was not the usual, let me send you medication, let me send you blood work, let me send you a surgery or a procedure. It was way different, a way different approach that the one we've been dealing with since all these issues came out in my life. And so it was hard to believe it at the beginning, without seeing anything, but once we start seeing results, it was kind of like, okay, what do I have to lose anymore? Like there's really nothing else that I can lose. I'm already losing my life this way. So that was like, you questioned, I remember on the first appointment, like when it was you, me, and my husband, you asked me about my goals, and I said like, well, ultimately the goal is to get pregnant, but the first one and the most important is just to recover my life. And you were like, but that sounds basic. And I was like, it's not basic, it's my reality. It's like I have a body of a 80-something-year-old lady, but I'm just 32. I need to be able to live. And I think that's just accomplishing that goal in such a short time. That was great. Not having to do any exercise, because full disclosure, I don't do exercise. That's not my thing.
I didn't make you do anything crazy like that. I'm
No.
super, super thrilled for you. I can't wait. I can't believe you didn't name your baby Dr. James, but it's okay. I'll let it slide.
No.
It would have been so unique. Right? A little girl, hello, Dr. James. Wait, what?
No. I love my kid. I'm not gonna do that to her.
I'm glad you didn't. All right, sir. I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. I appreciate your time. And you check in with us anytime, yes?
Yes, yes.
All the
And I will
time.
send pictures of Olivia when she's
Please.
born.
Please, 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 please do.
Hopefully, the time will pass soon and we can meet her soon.
Indeed. Indeed. All right, sweetie. Take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.